It's the way that I get lost now in the colors of your skin, and it's how I hear the stars calling brightly, and it's how I'm falling in. It's a puzzle I can't put together. It's a song I can't quite hear. When I try too much to put it in the bottle, when I try to hold it in, and so it comes to me in waves now. If I could show you how it starts,
Hello and welcome to Animal World Live on Saturday nights with the Painted Dog TV pack. This is the first episode of Painted Dog Month. Live chasing the dog. Welcome everyone. Another exciting episode, and it is absolutely sweltering. We have a fake fire. Well, we don't. We have the wood for a fire in front of us, but we are definitely not lighting a fire. I would guess it's probably still well over 30 degrees Celsius.
You can feel it. Very hot.
Nice and sweaty. Everyone's going to be glowing this afternoon. But yeah, hi everyone. Hi Boo,
hi,
Ian,
guys.
Linda, Arlara Moore, Pam, Vicky, Catherine, Linda Poley, hi Patty, hello Vimpy, Brenda, oh lots of people here, Pam, Rosalind, great to have you all here. Of course it's very exciting to, there we go, that's what I've been waiting for from Zander. Hello Ellie Gal, TJS Widget, Janet, really great to have you, and of course we're very excited that this is the first episode of Painted Dog Month. Very exciting stuff. Yeah. So, of course, as always, we're going to get through and get started to the live cams. So let's see what's been happening out in the Rietspraat and on Pridelands. Lovely.
Yay.
Breeding herd of elephants here at HQ at the dog den.
That's so beautiful.
And the Egyptian geese wandering away before they get, well, the Egyptian geese making a quick escape.
This thing is always here.
Yeah, they've moved in. Now let's see if we can recognize this herd. Is Susan there? No, it's not Susan's herd.
Smallish group.
Smallish group. Trying to see if there's any individuals we recognize. Hi, Ellies. It's just such a wonderful angle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's perfect angle. They all come through this little pathway as well.
Yeah, and you see that one in front's been playing in the red dirt. All of them have.
Pushing.
Oh, just magical. The amount of elephants we have here on Pridelands, we are just truly blessed. Catherine says she wishes that she was up in that tree watching the Ellies. Yeah, that would be awesome. Maybe that's the next mission. I want to do something like that. Yes. An elephant's ear can weigh up to 45 kilograms or 100 pounds. You must remember that in each ear there's up to just under 9 liters of blood in each ear. So that's 9 kgs just in blood in an elephant's ear. So isn't that absolutely amazing? They do look so calm and relaxed as they're lumbering along. This definitely beats cleaning the bathroom. Well, I should hope so, Janice. But yeah, let's have a look what we've got next from the live cams. Oh, this is the first. This is the first time we've caught the black rhinos on live cam. How exciting! At CEST.
Didn't we have before?
No, this is the first time. We've always had white rhino. So that's the black rhino cow and calf. We think she might be pregnant again as well.
Oh wow, that would be cool.
So I'm going to have to send this footage off to Rhino Revolution. That is absolutely wonderful. Exciting stuff. So that's a first for live cams.
That's
the black
awesome.
rhinos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very exciting. They do very well on Rietspraat, the black rhinos. Oh, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Oh, I'm just so happy. So happy to see them. I've been wondering why they never come to the waterholes where we have cameras, but now they have absolutely.
They've been camera shy, but not anymore.
And they are quite camera shy. They're one of the harder animals to find on the Rietspraat Reserve. So yeah, that's very exciting. Very exciting. Black rhinos. Wow. That means the show is just going to get better and better from here.
Yep.
Okay, what do we have next? Them's Critter Cam. out behind our workshop.
There you
Oh, slender mongoose.
Of
That's
course.
in the garden, actually just behind the workshop. And it's on quite a prominent game path. There we go. Lovely slender mongoose. And that's why the squirrels around here are alarming all the time.
They do go crazy all the time.
It's the slender mongoose hunting around the garden.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. That's awesome. Okay, that's right here, just behind us.
Maybe one day we'll catch the action. That would be cool.
Yeah, maybe we'll get the mongoose hunting. That'd be exciting. After it's Franklin that we've seen on that cam before. The slender mongoose love a good bit of fowl for dinner. Okay, what's next? We're back at HQ. Hello.
Yes.
Whoop, whoop, through the mud. No problem there for the hyenas.
Yeah, it was a quick passing by.
I just wonder where their den is at the moment.
Yeah.
They definitely are denning. We just don't know exactly where they are. I'll have to do some more walking.
Yeah.
Walking at the moment is sweaty.
Yeah.
Very, very
so
sweaty. But I haven't heard any sort of sounds that are associated with the den, like squittering or whining for milk.
But it should be cubs somewhere.
Yes, it definitely comes somewhere. And can you do a baby hyena whining for milk? Come on, Yuka.
Oh my word.
Oh, come on, Yuka. No, yeah, Yuka.
You know what? I did what was it, Brian? I did some sort of animal on my. Yeah, there you go.
Do a woodland
I was
kingfisher.
good at it, and then
Do it now then.
Yeah, but now you pressure me. I can't do well. That's the thing, but I can do it.
Very good.
Yeah, that's the one thing I can do.
And anyway, my bet is that the woodlands are going to be arriving on the 12th. Yeah, that's when I think the woodlands are going to be arriving.
Oh, that's the date. Yeah, I was trying to remember which date you said. I said 17, but it was 12. Sorry, guys. Correction, it's 12.
I think they're going to be arriving on the 12th. And I was wrong with the baby impalas. I haven't seen a baby impala yet. Apparently one was seen in the Sabi Sands yesterday.
Oh, really?
So we should be inundated with cuteness very, very soon. All the baby impalas. Okay, well, speaking of cuteness, well, I might be wrong, but let's see what's up next from the live cams. Hello, Piggy. Now, we should also be seeing some piglets soon. Piggy and emerald spotted wood dove. Oh, they're going to make a wallow in the overflow. Are you going to wallow in the overflow?
I almost got confused. Is this like one from the last week? Because
this is their spot
like the
now.
routine.
Oof, that one has got long whiskers, the one in the mud on the left. Very long whiskers. Now, quite funny enough, speaking of those long whiskers of the warthogs, the white ones in particular, in Tanzania, when I worked in Tanzania, the nickname for warthog was Sportsman. And that is a brand of a Tanzanian cigarette.
Really?
Because the trackers said it always looks like they've got two cigarettes hanging out of their mouth. And that's from that white whiskers, not from their tusks. So there we go, some Sportsman.
New.
Yes, that's a new one. No, I'd never heard it before Tanzania as well. Okay, let's have a look what's next. Oh, buffaloes. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
And nice to have there's quite a few breeding herds of buff around at the moment. I wonder if the swimming bull's here. Leap into
Slowly
it.
but surely they come into it.
Yeah. Oh, Magic, how many do we reckon here? About 40 or 50? Yeah, that's the water in the pan does leak out. You can see where the hammerkorp is standing. There's a little overflow there. So it does flow out there from time to time. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Johnson. So, a nice herd of buffalo. That camera angle is just so wonderful there.
Yeah, look at this hammerkorp just
The
like
hammerkorp's like, wow, buffalo ruining my frog hunting. Thank you, Mrs. Johnson. Happy Painted Dog Month indeed.
Thank you.
Oh, so always nice to have them. And this HQ Waterhole. I mean, there were buffalo there today. There were elephants there today.
It's been busy,
It's been very busy.
Yeah.
Hoping we catch a predator on there soon.
Yeah, we did have Lagasa coming through, but unfortunately didn't get caught on the camera.
She was sneaky,
Yeah,
stealth mode.
sneaky, but she definitely went through somewhere there.
Okay. And yeah, of course we had the hyena.
Yeah, hyena.
But it'd be nice to catch some leopards moving through there.
Yeah, we haven't got it yet.
Not on that camera yet, but I'm sure we're going to. And they've passed close to there. Oh, thank you, Patty.
Thank you.
Okay, let's have a look what's next on the live cams. Oh, rock monitor, very cool. Oh, Criticam's producing, not often, but when it does,
It's something very cool.
it's a big one as well. You can see how it's tongue coming out and testing the air. And of course, they use that to find different food and prey. Another thing to keep the squirrels alarm calling. Wium says he seems to be resident, so he's probably living in one of the trees in the garden.
That's so cool. That's very cool. I love this stand.
Yeah, so testing the air. A big one. Oh, not too big.
Is it slow motion?
No, it's just him going
like
very
just paused.
slowly. You might have heard something.
Yeah. So still.
There we go. Off he goes.
I almost got like freeze.
They can move very quickly when they have to, but when
Yeah,
he's hunting
very
like this, he's going to move very slowly. Now, of course, they've actually got quite a nasty bite. Oh, he's got a little kink in his tail at the end there. So obviously, because of what they eat, they've got a lot of bacteria in their mouth. So if they do bite you, the infection can be quite bad. A very, very cool sighting from Criticam. Okay, what's next? Oh, we're back on Criticam. Criticam's been busy.
So much going on.
What do we got? What do we got? I can see some movement coming in.
This is exciting. What is this?
What is it now?
What are we waiting for?
Are we being blind? Oh. Oh.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, wow.
Shame.
Will you go back and freeze that for me, please, Wimpy?
Also on the Pride and Elephant's cam, I have seen this individual as well.
I wonder what happened.
Yeah, shame. That looks very sore. Just one
Wow.
arm.
That's and I don't know what happened there. It doesn't look like a snare or,
Yeah, like
or anything.
what kind of thing can make that kind
So,
of
I mean, I have seen injuries similar to that on baboons before.
Okay.
When they fall, and like gets
Really?
basically their hand gets stuck
Oh, no.
in like a fork or something, and then they got to pull. That's the only thing I can think of it. That's
Yeah, it looked like just almost like bones.
Yeah. And then obviously with infection and the heat and the humidity, that flesh is obviously rotting.
But he has been surviving for a while because I've seen him a few times.
It could just be a birth defect. Could have just been born like that. It doesn't look like it's burnt there, Dizzy. I'm not sure. As I said, I've seen injuries like that where baboons have got their arms caught. They've fallen into a tree and they get stuck like that. But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
KDG, a power line. Possibly they do sleep on the power lines.
Oh.
It definitely could be that. That's a very good.
Shame, yeah.
Yeah, it could be something like that. Janet, I think it'll be able to survive. As Yuka says, she's been seeing it quite a bit. So yeah, it should be able to survive. Xander, can I ask you a big favor? A peaceful sleep, please. The mosquitoes are eating me alive at the moment.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm busy getting eaten. Africa Sky, Yuka, you've been in SA. You've been in SA for a long time because you say shame. Brandon's a very South African thing, shame.
Shame.
Yeah, very, very interested. I'll have a look again. Maybe let's have one last look at that baboon. Thank you, Xander. Okay. Oops. There you are.
Yeah. Oof. It's just the hair is gone, maybe.
I mean, we do have Grant around. Let's see what Grant thinks. He's going to be joining us just now, but and actually we have another expert around here. Tristan, come here. I need you to look at something. You can look on the screen.
After this, called the power lines.
Power lines. Okay, so KDG also said power lines. Let's see what Tristy thinks. Tristy's hiding in the background. I'm going to keep spraying myself. Come have a look on the screen here. We're trying to figure out what happened to this baboon. Here we go, Yuka.
Thank you so much. This will save us.
Tristy, you can come have a look on the big screen. Say hello. Yeah, of course, it was happy birthday, Tristy, as well yesterday. Happy birthday,
Happy
Tristy.
birthday.
Thank you, Benty.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Vim will pop it up on screen now.
That's weird.
It's very strange. So power lines is what everyone seems to think, and they do sleep up on the power lines.
I saw a wild dog with a tail like that the other day that was missing like fur right in the middle.
Yeah, but I mean, Vim, if you play, so it's walking.
But not putting on the ground, so it's
Yeah.
very sore on the hands for
See,
sure.
I think power line.
Power line, maybe. That's what it seems
Or a
to be.
snare, maybe.
It doesn't
Or
look
it's,
like a snare.
It doesn't look like it's that
No.
damaged.
Or maybe stuck in a fork. I don't know, but it does look, I'd say, almost burnt.
Yeah.
Maybe a power line, yeah. There's lots of happy birthdays for you, Tristy.
Everybody.
Bye, Tristy.
Bye bye.
You can't come to the dog den during Animal World Live and not make an appearance, Tristan. Oh, that is beautiful.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna try to get it into the light for you, Brian. Oh, it flew away.
Yeah, it was on my shoulder now.
But it's got really, that mantis has got really cool markings on its back. Yeah, should I come to you? Should I come? Ah, okay. The mantis is disappearing. He doesn't want to be on camera. He's more shy than Tristan is today. Okay, so well, let's carry on before we let's see what else we got from live cams, Vim. Oh, one of the big boys. One of the oligarchs. So baboon society is very, very interesting. We've actually been chatting about it quite a bit. And it is run by a bunch of oligarchs, so big dominant males. Here comes Mom with a baby hanging on.
Cute.
And
Anymore.
so the whole troop coming through. They spend quite a bit of time around here, particularly out in the plains behind us. So we're quite lucky with the baboons, and they're very well behaved baboons. They don't come raid the house or anything
so
like
far.
that. So far. Well, you got to be careful. As long as you don't leave rubbish and food out for them, you can coexist with baboons very easily. It's when you... Oh, thank you, Boo!
Thank you.
When you don't, and humans are naughty at that, and they leave mess
Then
and
we
stuff around,
attract them.
then
Yeah.
it's not actually the animal's fault because it's an easy food source. But yeah, okay. Vimpy, what next? Could have come, jeez. Oh, beautiful. Oh,
Such a cool
so
sighting.
which genet is it? Let's have a
see the
look.
tail.
Wait for the tail. Wait for the tail.
Ah, the black.
Large spotted. Oh, little. Do you see a little scent mark there? As he's about to disappear off screen, his scent marks. There we go. There you go. Choop, little scent mark. Dup. So obviously that's another resident of the Pridelands house. So we've got the monitor lizard.
Yeah, Janet trucks. I see
We've got
so
the Janet.
often, yeah.
We've got the dwarf mongoose.
So many things. to
Yeah,
like
just
that.
living
Yeah.
here. Okay, so Vincent's got another clip of the Janet, so let's have a look at that. Here we go. On a mission. Now, is it the same? Yes, another lot. Oh, hi. Oh, wow.
Very cool, yeah.
Sniffing. Oh, jumped on the camera.
Yeah, and
Oh, now we're going to go clean the lens.
Yeah,
Naughty Janet.
it was very cool.
Sinak, the way to distinguish between a large and small spotted genet is the tip of the tail. So a small spotted genet has a white tip to the tail. A large spotted genet has a black tip to the tail. Okay, well, that is the end of live cams. So now it is time for one of our favorite times of the week, which is your photos and videos. So those are you who want to have your photos and videos featured, remember to download the Painted Dog TV app on either iOS store or the Android store, and you could have the chance to have your pictures featured on Animal World Live. Okay, so first picture up is Ulrike. And Ulrika.
Ulrika.
There we go. Oh, there we go. And anyone have a guess what tracks those are?
That's cool. This is fun quiz going on here.
Yeah, so there we go. Anyone want to guess what tracks those are? Let's see if we've got any guesses coming in. That's a beautiful shot. Lovely composition. Very nicely done. Oh, sort of makes us want to go tracking.
It does, eh?
Maybe maybe not track the owner of those tracks. Yeah, that could be a bit
risky a little bit.
A bit risky. And as I say, we track lions and leopards, so it's not one of them. Yeah, so anyone have some guests? There we go. Alarmo, you are spot on. It is indeed a hippopotamus track. Well done. Hippo tracks. 4 toes. Rhino would be 3 toes. Diane, sorry. Yep, so there we go. Hippo tracks. And next up, and I saw this when I was sitting on the app this week. It is an absolutely stunning photograph. Well done, Lucas. I'm just saying, beautiful.
Whoa, that's
absolutely
very cool.
beautiful. Puerto San Carlos in Mexico. Isn't that an absolutely stunning photograph? Wow, beautiful, beautiful, Lucas.
Very cool.
Absolutely great. Yeah, I just love that image with the sand and the coyote. Beautiful. Award-winning, one might say, Lucas. Award-winning.
And even see the tracks of
yeah, you can see his tracks going up. Yeah, it's just an absolutely stunning picture. And then, of course, since it is Painted Dog Month, we've got a lovely picture from Barbara of a painted dog pup.
That's so cute. From Sabi Sands.
From another pack in the Sabi Sands last year in 2019. So Grant is, I'm sure, will know the pack, maybe not the individual, but yes, so really awesome. And speaking of that, we've got a lovely bit to show you, and while Grant shimmies his way on, so let's get going with Painted Dog Month.
Hello everyone, welcome from Endangered Wildlife Trust and from our side. Thanks to Brent for having me again, and obviously to talk wild dogs.
Oh, my favourite subject. It's because we're going to talk dogs all month this month.
Funny enough, that's my favourite subject.
Exactly, imagine that. Painted dogs talking about painted dogs. Here we go. Hi everyone. Everyone's saying hi to Grant. Yeah, so that was a compilation of shots. There was a bit of Melita in there. The original pack that was on Reach Break as well. We've got some of them. Yep. The ones that moved off that are on BCC at the moment.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. On Blue Canyon Conservancy. And I just got a report this afternoon that there are, I think it's 10 or 16 dogs just north of us.
Yeah, they would have crossed in. So yesterday they were on York. They crossed into the property next door, and they would have crossed in yesterday afternoon. Yeah, so it was actually a pack that denned in Balule a little bit further
10
north.
wild dogs, this one. 10 dogs at Snare Dam. Well, we're hoping that they come this way tomorrow. Come visit us here on Pride Dance, yeah. Okay, hi everyone. So, of course, we're just going to be chatting dogs, and as the beginning of Painted Dog Month, we've got lots of exciting things. And we are going to be, hopefully, next Saturday, announcing the date for the live collaring. And we'll be giving you more information about how you can get involved and help fund that live collaring.
Yep.
And get there, be right with us. And it's going to be quite exciting. We're going to try some new stuff live from a chopper, possibly. All sorts of crazy things in the pipeline. VM just shakes his head and goes, what do these guys get me into? Now I've got to build things. But I think he's happiest when building things. So that's well, some of the stuff we're going to be chatting. And of course, just wild dogs in general.
Yep.
And of course, we know that the wild dogs are under great threat, particularly as soon as they leave the protected areas.
Yeah, and I mean, something that I think is, we touched on it, in the first episode of the Painted Dog Month, but something that's quite pertinent and been quite interesting recently is just the increase in lion numbers, particularly in the APNR, which is what's pushing the wild dogs out. So it's not that they're not encouraged to go out, they're driven out, and also once they are out to avoid lions, which is their largest natural prey, or natural predators, is that when they go onto these game farms, there's no lions there with a high density of prey, and that's what then becomes an attractive for them to go onto those properties, which is really a difficult situation to be in. And that's exactly what it was with the Lapalala dogs, with them in that boma, and they've recently been released, and there's been some headaches with that pack that they've broken out of Lapalala and were chased back in with a helicopter, and so it's always ongoing, and it's always an emergency as well, which is also part of it. It's never things that are planned with wild dogs. It's always an emergency. They're always at risk, particularly when they're outside of protected areas.
And they move so much. They can. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I think you guys had it on your social media. 60 kilometers
in a hunt.
In a hunt. Yeah. So 60 kilometers in 1 hour.
So it is incredible. It's I can't think now. What was I going to say? Their stamina.
Yeah.
Their stamina is absolutely incredible.
No, that's exactly it. So it's not only just the speed that they're able to maintain for an hour, but just the stamina. They can maintain that 60 kilometers an hour for up to an hour, which is an incredible pace to be running around for an entire hour.
Now, Ian's asking a very interesting thing. Do you guys bring in wild dogs from outside of South Africa?
There has been historically, but not recently. The population of painted dogs, wild dogs in South Africa is the only one that's growing.
Yeah, in the whole of Africa.
Yeah, and that's why, fortunately, so the population has actually grown by over 100% in the last 10 years in South Africa, and that's why they're using those populations to introduce into other areas in Southern Africa.
Now, that's quite interesting, and we're going to talk a bit about that later. So you guys are busy constructing a boma.
Yes, which is part of that project, coordinated through Endangered Wildlife Trust and the Wild Dog Advisory Group, which is also something that I don't think we've spoken about it much.
We haven't spoken about WAG yet.
Yeah, no. About WAG. But
such a good name, isn't it? WAG for the Wild Dog.
Wild Dog Advisory Group.
Wag the tail.
So EWT coordinated. I'm doing a Brent here. And because it's now expanding outside of South Africa, it's a requirement to have a temporary holding facility that meets incredibly high standards for introduction into other areas in Southern Africa. So Cole, a colleague of mine, he's been overseeing that project. It's built in central Limpopo at Walgevonden, and it's a top-class facility. You know, it's got a veterinary clinic, it's got a viewing platform, there's 2 different separate compartments in the boma, so it's the best of the best in terms of a holding facility because it's going to be used for such high profile international moves.
That is, I'm very excited, and of course we will hopefully be putting cameras up there as well.
Exactly.
So when the dogs are there, oh no, my YouTube chat has disappeared. I will just reboot it. No, that's 2 seconds. Yeah, and I can see here for that. So yeah, so that is very, very exciting, and the fact that the EWT range expansion program has got to the stage now where South Africa is able to take packs and reintroduce them into areas where they've become extinct in the last 50 years.
Exactly. I mean, it happened with Gorongosa, which already is probably, you know, a case in point of how successful it can be, and it's just expanding. It's just getting bigger and better in terms of moving into other areas in Southern Africa, Zambia, Botswana. So it's exciting times for where the project's going.
And of course, hopefully, it's just not going to stop. We're going to be sending dogs to Cameroon, to Chad, to everywhere.
Exactly.
Okay, let me just have a look. So obviously, there we go. We're looking at the puppies now. Now, as we're talking about threats to them, now outside of humans, lions. Yeah,
exactly. So still, you know, naturally in a system like Kruger, as many of 70% of the pups in the first year, the mortalities would be attributed to lions. And then a question that people often ask is why are they killing wild dogs? You know, why are lions targeting wild dogs? And it's not to eat, it's not for food, it's just competition.
Yeah.
So it's essentially competition for resources, competition for area, competition for safe space. And that's another thing in terms of, you know, the overarching driver of population declines for most species is lack of safe space.
Exactly.
And that's where the range expansion project comes in, is that we understand in South Africa that there's a limited availability of safe space. Yeah, it's a finite, and then it has to be expanded outside of South Africa. I mean, Kruger National Park in South Africa is still the only viable contiguous population of wild dogs in South Africa. Yeah. We've got the meta population, or these reintroduced smaller reserves, but genetically it's not viable because...
Now that ties in with what Janet was asking. How are you dealing with the genetic diversity?
Yeah, so genetic diversity essentially is you would swap individuals around, and because we're artificially forming a pack, you getting genetics from a male genetics from one pack and then female genetics from another pack, and you're bonding those together through a process of bonding, and then that's forming new genetics, and we're mixing and swapping them around all the time to ensure that there's genetic diversity. And we also, in the samples that are collected when you're doing a capture or relocation or collaring or whatever, those samples are then important to have a genetic baseline, so we're constantly comparing it. And because we're always moving wild dogs around and sort of looking at the best possible genetics within range expansion, the meta population or the range expansion project, the wild dogs in these small fence reserves, their genetics is actually far superior to Kruger's, for example.
It's incredible.
And Kruger's still got the largest population, this largest single sort of continuous population. But the meta population is smaller than Kruger's population, but because we're mixing them around so often, the genetics are actually good here.
There we go. Joanne said the new boma is the project I donated to the other day. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Jan.
Okay. Africa Sky is wondering, how is the education going? Is obviously with the going onto the small hunting farms or game farms, or fenced farms, there is it's better, but it's not quite there yet. No,
it's not quite there, but so a lot of research has been done around it, and one of the drivers for behavior change on private property or sort of private areas is expansion as well. So people are more likely to be tolerant towards carnivores if they are part of a conservancy. And exactly like pridelands, you know, it used to be a small, isolated, fenced-off hunting farm, which is less likely to have a tolerance for carnivores coming through. But when those fences get dropped and then the system is bigger and it allows for a functioning ecosystem, it gets better. So that's part of the education as well. And unfortunately, even if in an area like Greater Kruger National Park, or the area that I've been working on outside of Kruger for the last 10 years, if 80% of the sort of private individuals are positive and 20% of negative, that's all you need for it to have an impact. And so you have to work, it's just an incredibly long process. It's getting better. It's changing.
What happened with the pack we caught 2 weekends ago?
Exactly, but even with the pack that we caught 2 weekends ago, although the landowner is intolerant, at least they're phoning.
Yes,
and that's
instead of shooting.
Instead of shooting, you
exactly.
know. So, and you know, I mean, you've been with me and have experienced yourself as well in terms of how upset an individual private landowner is getting. But if they're phoning, at least you know that they're willing to collaborate, you know.
And they're willing to work.
And that's changed, and that we've seen, which is, it's difficult to monitor that behavior change because it's such a long process, but it definitely is changing, that people are more aware on the conservation status of wild dogs in general. And then even with friends and family, you know, when I started working on wild dogs 12 years ago, friends and family didn't know that they were the most endangered carnivore in South Africa, or that there were far fewer wild dogs in Kruger National Park than there are rhinos, for example. And that's just, that education is an ongoing process.
Okay, I saw another good one here. Rosalind, how many wild dogs are left in, I suppose, Africa in the wild?
So, I mean, a straightforward answer is between 5,500 and 6,000. Okay, which is, it sounds like a gap, but there's a lot of areas that separate to South Africa, the populations just aren't studied as well. Chad,
even southern Tanzania, which is one of the largest populations of wild dog in the Salud.
Exactly.
No one.
But incredibly large areas, you know, which is what is fortunate with the sort of baseline work based on densities of wild dogs that's done in South Africa or in the smaller reserves, where you get an idea of the sort of home range size that wild dogs, and then you can extrapolate it to, okay, this is an area of suitable habitat, so in comparing this area of suitable habitat, we've identified 10 wild dogs. A total area can now potentially hold 50, so there could be 10 or 50, but they've never actually been identified, you know? And that's why, so yeah, between 5,500 and 6,000 to 6,500 is what the estimate is.
And South Africa, we're on about 450?
No, it's gone up now, so including Kruger's population, we're at 580 to 600.
Incredible.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's awesome. Now, oh, you go. I saw Pengold. Can we not import animals like impala into a small reserve to keep them there longer? Not actually, unfortunately. The dogs need to move. It's part of their habits.
Look, the only time that is viable, which is just, it is something that we've looked at, is in terms of when they're denning. You know, if they're denning on a property and then they decimate the prey populations on that property, they're going to look to move because there's no more prey available. So you can restock an area.
And you've done that.
Yes, and we have done that, exactly.
Not far from Hoedspruit, yeah.
But you know, so let me put it this way. When we're looking at when we do an assessment for a new reserve, there's a criteria that we look at in terms of whether it's suitable to have wild dogs. Firstly, it's the size of the area, and it's an analogy that I've used multiple times in comparing. If you took an area which is the size of Greater Johannesburg, which is 100,000 hectares, in a natural system, so if you took Southern Kruger, which is about 200,000 hectares, so south of the Sabi River, but 100,000 hectares in a natural system that's functioning, that area would be able to sustain about 100 lions.
Yeah.
Okay. In that same area, you could sustain then about 80 to 100 leopards. Okay. And then think about the fact that lions are social carnivores and prides. So 100 lions are in 10 different prides of 10 individuals. Yeah. 100 leopards, solitary, that's 100 different leopards in that area. 30 wild dogs in one pack in that area is the size requirements to sustain a population of wild dogs, in that same area you could have 100 lions and only 30 wild dogs. And that's the size of the area that they roam and also their prey requirements. A high metabolic rate means that they have high prey requirements. So that's, that's kind of also links to the fact that outside of southern Africa, like areas like Gorongosa and particularly Mozambique at the moment, there's a lot of areas that are incredibly large. So we're working with Peace Parks Foundation through a systematic reintroduction of the Carnival Guild into a reserve Zanav, which is 400,000 hectares.
So, but it depends on
what the prey density
might
is.
Not be the same as it is in Kruger because the reserve's still recovering.
Exactly. So what they've done is they've introduced, the first phase is to reintroduce prey, exactly the same as what happened in Gorongosa. Exactly. So the prey gets reintroduced, they have to establish, and then you introduce the wild dogs afterwards. But
cockroach.
So this farm that these wild dogs were on, 1,000 hectares, is never going to be large enough. Never. Even with a high prey base, it's never going to be large enough to sustain them. They're always going to move off.
And that is part of their nature. And
exactly.
They do that so they don't completely wipe out their food source. If they stayed, well, these ones were naughty. These ones didn't read the book.
No, they did not read the book.
They stayed on 1,000 hectares for 3 months.
Without denning.
Without denning.
Yeah.
They were very naughty dogs.
It's an important fact in terms of the conservation of wild dogs, and the term is a keystone species.
Yeah.
By conserving wild dogs, you're indirectly conserving so many other species because of the large area requirements that they have. So by conserving wild dogs, you're indirectly conserving the habitat, even though the intention is not to conserve the habitat. But you're conserving wild dogs, indirectly you're conserving the habitat because they require large areas. And that's important from a conservation point of view, to look at wild dogs as being beneficial to a whole lot of other species. Exactly.
I mean, the interactions they have with hyenas, with, even just moving prey around. They don't stay at one place too much and overgraze. They push them, chase them around.
And then,
so Wimpy, can you say that again for me, please? Oh, you can carry on. Sorry,
and then, another thing is that in a natural system like Kruger, that prey then eventually learns to avoid wild dogs or avoid predation. But on these smaller farms, when they've been absent of predation, they don't know. They're predator naive, so they don't know what a predator is. So a wild dog will kill 3 or 4 impala in the same day just because the impala don't run away. And that's also part of it, is that that's part of the, going back to the question about educating, about making private landowners aware of the fact that their prey is naive. So by allowing predators to come in and teach for the impala to be then learning that they're getting predated on. And that's something that we're looking at quite closely now in Zanav after introducing carnivores there. So we've started with our hyena, is actually looking at the prey's response and how quickly they start moving away from it. And then you can use that sort of as a baseline for other unprotected areas. Yeah.
Now, we've got a little update for you guys to watch. While I think Grant needs some nice cold water.
Yeah, it's quite warm. Thank you.
I completely agree, Mary. Wild dogs and hyenas make the best sounds. I think wild dogs might be a little bit better though. And of course, now that was all up at Lapalala, and it's going to be really, really amazing to have this other release boma. Well, I suppose it's a holding boma.
Yeah.
For expansion up into Africa.
Exactly.
And Mozambique, you said at the cards, possibly Rwanda in the not too distant future.
Yeah, there's a couple of options. Rwanda, Mozambique is
Malawi,
Zambia. So it's exciting prospects for the project going forward.
We are very, very, very excited about this. Now, I'm going to ask them to pull up the quick flyer here quickly. Now, remember, at the end of Painted Dog Month, we're going to be doing a live collaring. And what we've decided to do is to make it open to everyone to view. But you can get involved by becoming a sponsor if you would like to. So there's also corporate sponsors. So if any of your businesses might be interested in getting involved in wild dog conservation here in South Africa, I'm going to get them, we'll pop it up now. So not sure which one is this. Okay, so this is a different flyer. Okay, I was thinking we were looking for the other one. But anyway, so there'll be more information on that one. But yeah, so it's going to be the world's first ever live dog collaring. Never been done. We're going to be doing it in support the KNP Wild Dog Project, or the Kruger National Park Wild Dog Project, which is Grant's baby for the last 12 years.
Yes, it is indeed. Yeah, exciting times. Makes me nervous to plan it, but
Yeah, well,
why not?
We'll definitely do it.
100%.
Yeah, and a nice thing to just raise the awareness a bit more about painted dogs.
Exactly.
And the threats. And as you said, people don't realize it's the second most endangered carnivore in Africa.
Yep.
There are less wild dogs than lions, rhinos.
Yep.
Even there are less wild dogs than black rhinos.
Yeah.
For example, and obviously which are all critically endangered. And in a lot of ways, because they move such vast distances, it makes looking after them that much more difficult.
And the fact that they don't respect fences, it's just really difficult to maintain them.
Catherine, we will be announcing the dates of the live collaring next week.
Yeah.
We'll probably might even do a quick bonus live drive or something. We're not sure yet. As soon as we know, you'll know. And then we'll start getting everyone ready for that. Pam, we will do. I will get Melissa and whatnot to email you through that info to go look for some sponsors. Pam, obviously,
yes, she's been helping out a lot.
Done quite a lot in with the masks and everything in the States. So thank you, Pam. So yes, you will get an email about it, and keep an eye on. Obviously, if you're on the app, the information will be coming out on the app. We will pop it onto social media. So it's very exciting. We're very excited to do it. Come on.
Yeah, why not?
The first ever live wild dog collaring. We're very excited about that. Thank you, Grant.
Thank you for having me, and thanks again.
Well, next week you're not here.
No.
But we'll have hopefully Ben or Joel or both.
Yes.
Some of the vets we work with on the project. So Grant's got to go do some
lion work.
He's going to go chase some lions. So that is very, very exciting. But before we say goodbye completely, we've got a little roll-in for you to watch. So, for the last while, the dogs have been used to the impala being dragged into there, and you'll see they might come running up now, thinking they're going to get a free meal. You can see the adults coming much closer. Isn't this absolutely riveting? Hopefully they don't manage to steal the impala before it gets to the tree. So this is going to be a little bit different from what they're used to. So let's start moving, Brian. Let's start moving back to the vehicle. Some of the adults have come out, but the adults are out, the adults are out, the adults are out. They're following the carcass. Isn't this absolutely incredible? Remember this, guys, this is live. Janet, the wild dogs are not a threat to human beings. There's actually never been a recorded case of a wild dog attacking a human being in the wild. Okay, let's get ready. Let's go jump on the vehicle. Let's give them as much space as possible as they need to get out. Okay. Okay, here we go. So that is, we're going to be chatting quite a bit about the live release next week, and obviously we're going to have some other guests and the vets here. But again, quickly, a big thank you to all our patrons. We wouldn't be where we are without you. To our super chat sponsors, to our subscribers. Go download the app if you haven't, please. And then, of course, lots of exciting things. Thank you to Lead Lenser for making sure we can always see where we're going. We'd be blind without you. I thought I was very clever. Probably not, though. But yeah, so very, very cool. And also, of course, Eco Training and Pridelands and the Rietspreid Reserve, the Steenberg family, and everyone who is involved in keeping Painted Dog going. And, of course, our crew, Zander, Set, Design, Yuka, Brian, Wim, and Bavu. Am I missing anyone? Charles, of course. And Tristan for making sure I don't forget everyone. Now, as always, we are trying to improve and get better in everything we do. And we are now going to be launching a new service on the live drives. And you will be able to chat in real time to me with your voice, not typing. And with the other members of your drive. So here's a little promo, and if you want to find out more information about how you can join on a live Zoom drive, I think it's I don't know what we're calling it. Yeah, a live Zoom or Teams or whatever platform drive. You can email info@painteddog.tv, and also don't forget to check out all the Painted Dog TV swag on Teespring, and there will be some Christmas goodies coming out soon. But from all of us here, thank you again, Grant.
Thank you everyone.
And enjoy, guys. Good night. Hello and welcome to your very own private live virtual safari. Julie, the baboons do not bother us in camp.
Thank you for showing us the elephants. That was amazing to see.
Barbara, we haven't actually seen Pixie Pan and her cubbies for a while. We had tracks before the rain. Is that a girl or a boy, Pumba? Who can tell me? Have a guess, guys.
It's a girl.
Ah, it is indeed a girl. How do you know it's a girl?
I don't know, my intuition.
Oh, giraffe. I told you I heard something. It's a giraffe.